Well, hello, hi. It is me. It is I, small town Didi or Hadia DJ for internet and Akastraha and back yala. I don't do this for a week, and I feel like a fish out of water every time I need to sit down. I am two reviews behind because life rather hard. I do have a social responsibility, a public service announcement. The box is now 250. Because listen, darlings, I don't want you to get into the shop and like experiencing the shock of your life. Right? I want better for you. Rahadi already went through that, so you don't have to. Okay. Your little cheap boyfriends were already complaining about the fucking 200 rands. I'm your little cheap boyfriends. I'm one of them. And now they just added an entire 50 bucks to it. How many loaves of bread is that? We need to stop eating bread. Hey, but anyway, we're gonna go have a chat. It's Sunday evening when I sit down for this. Cheers. Alright guys. They can have their 50 bucks, it's fine. All right, Real Housewives of Durban, episode 11, season 4 review. Let's get into it. First of all, podcast sign but you guys know this already. This has been my song and dance for a bit now. But yeah, the ladies land in Namibia, and I'm gonna try to give this some oomph because there was no oomph. The ladies land in Namibia. Nonka, Maria, and Jojo are wearing matching like Lumo pants, like a neon green kind of. I'm just like, what in the childish show, guys? As a woman, like, find your place, be comfortable with your place in the world so you don't end up looking like Maria. You know? That's how what's happened here with her. The ladies land in Namibia, everybody's looking. Really? I wasn't tired before I said that. Oh my god, I think they bore me. There, okay, let me get back into it. Oh my god. I needed like a shot of tequila. Right? The ladies land, everybody seems stoked for it. Maria and Nonko and Maria are in matching outfits. Okay, cool. Landing, everybody's getting into their rooms and what have you. Slee decides to go and see Maria. Slee and Maria annoying me because I wouldn't say they had the strongest relationship, but they were new. Both of them were new last season and they got along well enough, right? But anyway, she goes to Maria's room. I feel like they don't meet each other with honesty, right? Like, see, what's your intention to go and have this conversation? Maria, you're receiving Slee with the, oh, she's just coming to do recon. She's just coming here to see what's the vibe. When the two of you don't have actual beef, the two of you could really have your own friendship outside of all of this. I'm friends with whomever, and I'm friends with whomever, and we can't be friends, you know? But anyway, she goes to Maria's room and she's like, okay, I wanted to see you since my event, seeing everything that went down there, check on you, see if everything is okay and what's happened. Obviously, Slee's really close with Amy. And Amy is the one who said what she had said about Maria. But I am glad that Maria hasn't decided to like lump Slee together with what Amy said. And they are still like having an openness to each other, even though it's like very fake, like it's layered with like, you know, offishness, but they're acting like they're okay. And then Slee gets to talking about Nonko and Jojo, and she's like, you know what? I really feel like in a different world, Jojo and I could have vibed proper, you know, we could have been mates and it could have been great. But because they come as a combo, I don't see us ever being friends because of that, but I really think she's a cool ass chick and we would get along if it wasn't that she comes with Nonko. I feel like the group as a whole is really playing down the extent to which Nonko went to try and hurt Slee. The things she did to hurt Slee last season, they weren't nothing. And people don't understand the depth of it. And I think we see it later in the episode when she's talking to Sarisha. And then Maria also says that if it ever came down to it and she had to choose, she would definitely go with Jojo and Nonko. Why would she have to choose? In fact, the only group that require her to choose are those two. Slee and Sarisha aren't giving off the energy of, if you're going to be cool with us, you can't be cool with Jojo and Nonko. First of all, because Sarisha talks to both Jojo and Nonko. But anyway, that's what happens there. Nonko and Jojo go sightseeing, and on their walk, they talk about everything that's transpired. Nonko's feeling attacked, which is odd to me. She feels like I think it's because her, Jojo, and Maria now are always plotting, right? She feels like people decided to come to Slee's event to gang up on her. Whereas I feel like the explosion happened very organically for me in terms of her and Angel getting into it, as well as all her engagements with everybody all came from something she initiated. And I don't think she sees that, right? She's the one who said to Annie was like, oh my God, you guys are being so childish. She's the one who decided to respond to Annie, or don't use that word in the group, it's triggering, which gave Angel room to say only to senior citizens. How's that? Angel, nobody came for you. You started something, but you don't have the wit to do the back and forth with these people, and now you're feeling attacked. I don't get it. Jojo says to her, I really like Angel. I have a soft spot for her, but as long as she's not getting along with you because you're my bestie, I feel I can't make nice with her. And I won't make nice with her because I don't want to leave you open. I don't know. That's how they want a friendship. It's working for them. But I think it hurts you in the long run. You end up inheriting enemies that aren't yours. I've been in a situation where somebody I was mates with, or whatever, but she wasn't getting along with another person, and it was about a man, and this man didn't belong to either one of these bitches like that. This is not even anybody's husband, anybody's long-term partner, anybody, not neither one of them mean that much to this person, and the vice versa. But there was an expectation from the other person, although not communicated, explicitly communicated, it was there that I was supposed to snub this other person because I got along with the other girl. I wouldn't say we're mates or anything, but if I run into her, we're going to stand and have an exchange, a pleasant exchange. We're going to talk about stuff. And there was always this idea that I'm being fake for that. No, bitch. I'm not about to inherit a beef that doesn't make sense. That's it. If you're going to say some weird shit about a friend's parent, a friend's kids, I'm emotionally invested in those people too. I don't want to be around you if that's what the fuck you did. But some weird little frivolous, oh my God, your bum is big. And it's I don't care. You can fight it out there, the two of you. I can't inherit that beef. I'm sorry. I cannot. And then Emy and Angel go for gin at whatever gin bar. Emy flew in later than all the other girls because she had some stuff she had to handle. I'm sorry, guys. It's been a long day. It's 11 and I'm tired. I literally before I sat here, I was not yawning. But anyway, Emy sits down with Angel and they get to chatting. There's a recording. Angel's like, do you want to have a listen? I have an issue with this recording because I can't fully place when it happened. I can't place if the recording happened right after Zama's birthday thing, or if it happened after they had been at JoJo's and Zama had apologized. I can't imagine it happened after JoJo's because by then Zama and Angel were having their own issues regarding Angel saying that you say things about me and my parents. So I can't place it. And then Amy's like, Angel let me know she has this recording a while ago, but at the time I did not want to listen to it because I thought it would be rather upsetting. But I think I'm ready to hear what's on the recording now. And she's like, okay, fine, I'll send it to you. And I guess she did because we see things go pear-shaped later on. The ladies go sightseeing. They're on these little segways and stuff. Nonko falls, and then they go and sit aside, and she's shaken, like it shook her a little bit, that little tumble that she took, because I say little, but like she could have gotten hurt, like truly, right? So what's her name? Georgia's like, you know what? I feel like Nonko experiences a lot of anxiety when we have to be around the ladies as a group, because perhaps she is feeling like she's being singled out. She's feeling attacked. Last year it was very much like you and Jojo. And now in scene, it's like with the other ladies, the beef is very much directed to you. You and Slee have unresolved issues. Slee didn't have a relationship with Jojo. You did the stuff that you did to Slee. So every time she finds a moment to come for you, she does that, And I suppose it was working out better when the beef was like spread between you and Joe from the other ladies. And now, even though Joe is like physically present and Maria's there being a little stooge, like you're still feeling like you're on an island by yourself and you're feeling attacked. I don't care. But I can imagine that, yes, you would get tense every time you come around a group of people and you're like, I'm probably going to get attacked. You would be antsy. You would need gummies. Anyway, they go sightseeing, they're on their little segways, they are hovering about, and it's quite cute, and it looks like a good way to see an area. It looks gorgeous. It really does look very, very stunning. Slee and Sarisha go for coffee. They're looking very cute. I like the little clean girl kind of aesthetic that they went for when they were going for their coffee. They sit down and they have a chat. And here I feel like we get more insight as to why it is Maria came in hot from last season, why it is Maria is acting the way she is acting towards Sarisha now. We learned that Sarisha knew Neil, right? Prior to us meeting Neil on the show. And they had a friendship of sorts, and Sarisha moved at some point, and she says that Neil had said to her, I felt like you had abandoned me all those years ago when you moved and you just went on about your life and whatever. And Neil asked for her number. This is Sarisha's telling of events. When Maria came into the group, and I think I say this every other review, she was hot and heavy for Sarisha for no reason. Oh, she's icing me out. Oh, I feel like she doesn't like me. Just making up stuff. Now we see what the issue could be. She had inherited people's opinions. And by people, I mean Neil. She had inherited whatever beef, whatever opinions other people around her who know Sarisha had of Sarisha. And she came into the group with those preconceived notions and other people's experiences, or the experiences they told her they may have had with this person. She came into the group with all of that stuff because none of it was landing. And now that her and Neil are also so super tight, she's retreated back into that, oh, Sarisha's this, oh, Sarisha's that. But has Sarisha actually ever been any of those things to her? In as far as we've seen, right? And as far as she's experienced, I don't think so. Sarisha may very well be all of those things, but has that been Maria's experience of Sarisha? Right? And Sarisha says to Slee, you know what? I feel like I even asked Maria, don't bring this person around me because I'm not comfortable. They've been talking like really, really bad and reckless about me on social media over the years, and I haven't even said anything back. But she insisted on bringing this person into the group. And to that, I have to say, Maria's a grown woman. Like, Sarisha does not get to tell her who to bring around, right? That said, if I say, hey, this person you're friends with makes me uncomfortable, Could you not bring them around? And you decide you're a grown woman, which you are. You're going to bring them around because that's your friend and that's not your experience with that person. You're going to ignore what my request is. I should also be okay with you not wanting anything to do with me thereafter. Because how can I trust you? I don't feel safe around the person you are besties with. How do I then come around you and feel okay and feel like we can build a real friendship and I can trust you when you have this person who's talking shit about me hanging with you and you're so close to them? You see, we now get a little bit of insight as to why it is that there's this tension, this unsaid stuff. What is going on here? It seems to be like social circle stuff outside of the show, but okay, it's happening. Nonko Zama and Jojo, Maria, the four on the Jojo side, go for a little swim, and then we have is Slee still at the thing? Oh yes. While they're at the coffee, Slee and Sarisha, she tells her, my dad's been making an effort to try and get to know me better and communicate better. He's been reaching out more. He's called me twice, like he's done video calls with me. He apologized, and she gets emotional as well and talks about how she comes from a family where she had to fend for herself and she had siblings that she had to go back and try to take care of and make home right first. And it really hurt her when Nonko brought to the show that she's financially not okay, knowing the kind of background that she comes from. Like I said, I really feel like we truly underestimate exactly how gutted Slee was over this entire thing, but like we see her here. And I said to one of my friends, are you aware that we never learn that Slee is financially not matching up, if you would like, or overstretched, as she said, if Nonko doesn't say it? They all look the same. For all intents and purposes, they show up the same, right? They were living in the same estate, right? Her kids look well taken care of, just as well as Nonko's kids, or the one kid that we do get to see, and so forth and so on. So from the eye alone, it's not like you can just look at C and be like, oh, she's not matching up. No. Nonka had to inform us, had to use this woman's financial situation to try and shame her, right? Make her feel like you don't deserve to be sitting with this group of women because this is where you are in life. Low, real low, I keep checking the mic because one time it went off, guys. Zama doesn't fit into this the group as a whole, yes, but in the group that she's trying to slot herself in, she doesn't respect them. She doesn't rate them. She sees them as a means to an end, and it shows. Like, if she had to choose, this is not where she naturally goes. But she's in a tight spot, so she must, and they're seeing it for what it is, it's an alliance and she's not pulling her weight. Because when they're at the pool, Maria, Jojo, Nonko, and Zama, they're like, oh, why weren't you sorry. Zama's not pulling her weight in terms of them being, the allyship, so to speak, that they have going on. They're like, yeah, why weren't you at Slee's thing? And she's so rehearsed and she's a terrible actress. So it shows. Oh, my cousin was getting married. You couldn't say that. You really think your friends would ask you why you weren't at this thing? I had better things to do, family over everything. Okay, bitch. Yeah, Azama, why weren't you there? Nonko's starting to feel like, okay, she will want you guys to take up for her issue, but when it's time, as allies, the people on this side of this camp, when she has to take up for another person, it's not serious to her. So much so that she may opt not to even show up to whatever it is that's happening, Ladies go for dinner. It's apparently their first day out there and what have you, and they decide to play a game. Sarisha has them playing a game called Walk the Plank. Nonko falls again. She's trying to sit and she falls. I don't know what's happening with Nonks, but anyway, these things happen. I have a clumsy friend. Maybe that's all that's happening. She just didn't gauge where her bum was gonna go properly. But she falls, everybody picks her up. It's a whole thing. They sit down and they playing this game, walk the plank. Little, but there's no plank that they're walking, so it's like silly. But anyway, it escalates with these girls, you know it does. And she announces that Nonko's like, I want to nominate myself to walk the plank because I'm actually going to be drinking on this trip. And she hasn't been drinking this season, she says. And then C takes that opportunity to say, well, I think Nonko should walk the plank for admitting that she's coming back to the fun side or whatever. And then it's a whole thing. I'm bored, okay, with these ladies. I'm bored. But this dinner was cut short. Really, nothing really happened. They played this walk the plank thing, and that's all that happened there. Then the ladies go to a labyrinth out in the middle of the desert there. Saoirse likes alternative healing stuff. You guys know that. I would have loved this. I think I would have loved it. The sun was setting. And she says that the lady that made that particular one took years to collect the stones to make it work. Nonko wasn't available to go to this, and I'm glad she wasn't because you know she's Miss Christian. So anything that like challenges anything that falls within that like scares her. I think it's hilarious that you can be scared of rocks, sun, and sand. I think it's wild. Wild. Truly. They walk and they take their time and stuff, and Zama says she's not gonna do it because she's Christian and she doesn't practice any alternative anything, and this and that. Wonderful girl, sit it out. Maria makes a joke of it as well as Jojo, but they don't get the attention that they're looking for. And if she wasn't so close to Jojo, she would have taken it seriously. This we know. And not saying try to feel something you're not feeling or experience something. Honestly, just walk it in solace. Say a prayer if you're saying your prayer, or just think about the thing that you want to let go of, or think about the things that you want to attract and go stand at the center, say your amen, right? Or just take your deep breaths and then walk out. Like it's not that serious. I don't know why it has to be a serious moment. But Slee had a beautiful moment with it as well as the other ladies, and I'm glad for them that they chose to still have that experience, even though Maria and Jojo were trying to make fun of it. I feel like Zama even did better than them by sitting it out all together versus making it a joke like they were. Like I don't get it. Anyway, they go for camel rides in the next scene. Slee and Angel aren't dressed appropriately to ride the camels. Like they're in like stilettos and shorts and whatever, so they walk back. And the ladies all ride off and stuff, and it's gorgeous. Everybody seems to be taking it in, and they're enjoying it, right? And they go to the beach. Sarisha has a picnic planned for them, and she's like, Angel and Slee said they'd catch up with us. They went to go get changed because they weren't dressed appropriately. So they sit down and stuff, and they start. She got some little gifts for them, some portraits made, and they like their gifts and what have you. And then Georgia gets into it. She's like to Amy, you know, I really like you. I have a soft spot for you, but like you keep having this tiff with my best friend, and I'm trying to understand what the issue may be because I want us to all get along with you, but I'm not able to open up to you and make room for you when you're not getting along with somebody I'm so close to. To which Angel then says, you know what? I have no real issue with Nonko. And I'm also not going to apologize. Maria then like interjects, tries to get herself involved. Nonko is not speaking up for herself, right? Like it's now Jojo and Maria's job to speak on her behalf because that's the alliance, right? That's what they're supposed to do. You can't just say, yo girl, this thing is happening and whatever, whatever. As they're talking, Zama is sitting it out because she really doesn't care. She does not care. She especially doesn't care about Nonko. And Nonko is seeing that. She does not care. And then she says, you know, Angel is sticking to the fact that she didn't say anything that horrible. She felt like it was a fair exchange. And if Nonko is owed an apology, do they not feel that she's also owed an apology from Nonko? And then they ask Zama what she thinks since she has the recording. And Zama's like, well, I started recording halfway. By the time I started recording, y'all were yelling at each other. So we missed the beginning of why it is we even got to that point. And she's like, I feel like it was an even exchange by the time I started recording. This upsets Nonko a little bit, right? Because it's like, girl, like, hello, stay on code, bitch. Okay. I don't care about this. I don't care about it because there's no footage of it. I wish I did. I'm not even going to say who I believe, who I don't believe anymore. I'm very tired of trying to figure that out. Really, I am. Truly. They deserve it. No. Okay? And then they also, Zama stands up to go get like blankets for everybody and stuff. And Angel is like, Zama, what is your issue with me? Why were you saying all those terrible things about my family? What is really the problem? And then she's like, I don't really have her. She's like, well, it's not just me, you say things about other people's families as well. This felt very staged on her part in terms of trying to get the ball rolling with Emy. But Amy's like, I listened to that recording. Again, this is annoying to me because in my mind, I'm like, if this recording happened before she apologized to JoJo's, first of all, I feel like Emy should not have been so quick to squash it with Zama because she wasn't okay. Maybe in that moment, she felt like, okay, she said sorry, let me try to move past it. She should have allowed herself time to be like, okay, I heard your apology. Because Zama is saying now, I've apologized already. Twice I've apologized over the same thing. So you're not getting another apology out of me over this thing. I understand that she now has new information. By way of that the audio that Angel provided for her. This is Emy now. And honestly, the way she's speaking, she's accusing her of like, that's why she's using her kids for content. She definitely staged that heist. This is definitely what happened. And she's cocky and confident, like she knows something as a matter of fact. And it was really upsetting to Emy. So she keeps saying, you're not getting another apology out of me. I've tried to make amends with you over this thing in as much as anybody can. And if what I've done to this point isn't enough, nothing is ever gonna make it go away. At the same time, I understand why Amy's so upset because you're literally accusing this woman of putting her children in harm's way, questioning her parenting, like, wow. Like, you could have your kids taken away for that. There were guns and stuff. You're saying this woman deliberately put her kids in harm's way to keep a car and also to make content. I don't know. Then she pours, she has this in her hand and she's like, exactly this amount. She throws that at Zama and Zama's upset and she gets up and she, I think that was inappropriate. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to sip mine. Hey, my bad. I think that was inappropriate. It was dead wrong. I feel the same way, not to the same degree that I feel with Jojo and Mabusi because doesn't matter. It was still wrong. She gets up and she's like, you're not getting another apology from me over that, and then Amy's like, you don't know what it's like to have children or what it's like to be a mom. Emy, this is the second time she's done this, being like low. And I get it. It's a heated exchange with somebody. You grabbing at the nearest thing. But the sitting on dicks with Maria, right? Making us like alluding to her doing something super inappropriate only for you to have to walk it back and say, that's not what I was alluding to. It's not that serious. And now in the middle of this fight, you're reminding this woman who has, reproductive issues and what have you. You're reminding her of those issues, as if it's, it's like, oh, that was a bit much for me. That was a bit much. I don't like when we fight like that. It's a bit too nasty for me. But Angel gets up. She's like, let me play the recording for you guys. And she lets Maria and Jojo listen to it. And I can tell they also stunned and taken aback. But they also like, this doesn't look like something that you guys can solve. Honestly, it does not seem like anything you all can solve. And it is what the fuck it is. That's really what happened. Wasn't that interesting? I still haven't watched what is said to be the last episode, I think. But I'm going to sit down, watch that, and hopefully get that review out to you guys right after this one. That's it. Bye, Yella.